I heard this story from Noor and Lama, two sisters from Gaza, Palestine. They told it at the World Storytelling Cafe, and John Rowe said it was the best tandem storytelling he'd ever heard, and I quite agree. The girls told it beautifully. So, Noor and Lama, this is your tale of the Emperor's new clothes. Many years ago, there was an emperor who was so fond of new clothes that he spent all his money on them. He didn't care about his soldiers. He didn't care about anything apart from his clothes. He had a different suit for every hour of the day. Well, the story of this emperor who loved his clothes spread far and wide, and it reached the ears of two weavers. They said, "The emperor should wear clothes with wonderful patterns and colours, clothes made with a splendid material that would be invisible to everyone who was unfit for the job they held or who was simple, stupid even." The emperor heard about this suit, and he thought, if I had such a suit as this, I could find out if the men in my kingdom are fit for the jobs that they have, and I would be able to tell the wise men from the foolish. So he gave a large sum of money to the two weavers so that they would begin their work at once. The two weavers set up two looms. They looked very busy, but in reality, they did nothing at all. They asked for the finest silk and for golden thread, and then they pretended to work at the empty looms until late at night. All the people of the kingdom heard about this wonderful cloth, and they were all eager to learn how wise or foolish their neighbours were. The king was eager too, and so he decided to send his prime minister to the weavers to see how the cloth looked. The prime minister went to see the two weavers and how they were working. But what? I can't see any threads on the looms. "Well, sir, do you like the colour of the cloth?" asked one of the weavers. "Yes, sir," said the other weaver. "You haven't said whether the cloth pleases you." "Oh, it is excellent," replied the minister. "The colours and the patterns, I will tell the emperor without delay how beautiful it is." "Fantastic," said the weavers, and they named the colours and described the pattern of the pretend cloth. The minister listened and then repeated their words to the emperor. The emperor soon sent another man from his court to see how the weavers were getting on. The emperor wanted to know if the cloth would soon be ready. It was just the same with this gentleman. Like the minister, he looked closely at the loom from all sides, but he could see nothing but the empty frames. "Is it to your liking?" asked the weavers. "I'm not stupid," thought the man. He declared that he was very happy, that the cloth was extraordinary indeed. Finally, the emperor himself wished to see the costly material while it was still on the loom. He took many of the officers of court and the two honest men who had already admired the cloth with him. As soon as the weavers saw the emperor coming, they began to work even faster than before, but they didn't pass even one thread through the looms. "You can see the cloth is absolutely magnificent," said the two men who had already visited. "If your Majesty will be blessed to look at it, you will see what a splendid design, what a glorious colour it is." And they pointed at the empty frames. "What is this?" said the emperor to himself. I see nothing. This is indeed a terrible affair. Am I stupid? Am I unfit to be the emperor? That would be the worst thing that could happen. Oh, he said, the cloth is very beautiful, he said out loud. Then all the men said, how beautiful! And they advised His Majesty to have some new clothes made from this splendid material and to have it ready for the parade that was planned. Magnificent, charming, excellent! I want a suit ready tonight, said the emperor. The weavers sat up the whole night. The day before the parade was due to take place, they worked and they worked. They had 16 lights burning so that everybody might see how anxious they were to finish the emperor's new clothes. They pretended to roll the cloth off the looms. They cut the air with their scissors. They sewed and they sewed with needles without any thread in them. See, they cried at last, the emperor's new clothes are ready. The emperor and all his court came to the weavers. The weavers held out their arms as if in the act of holding something up. Here are your Majesty's trousers. Here is your mantle. Here is your scarf. Yes, indeed, said everyone, although not one of them could see anything of the splendid material. The emperor was delighted, and the weavers pretended to dress him in his new clothes. The emperor turned round and looked from side to side in the glass. How splendid His Majesty looks in his new clothes, everyone cried out. What design! What colour! But when the emperor started walking through the streets of his capital, the crowd was absolutely silent. Then suddenly there was a loud laugh. It was a little child laughing. The emperor has nothing at all on, said the little child. At last all the people shouted, he has no clothes at all, and they started laughing. The emperor was wearing nothing at all. The emperor was extremely embarrassed. Now he understood that the two weavers had made a fool of him. He could do nothing but run as fast as he could to his palace. The two weavers, of course, well, they had their money and the gold thread, and they escaped, and they have never been seen again. Well, I hope you enjoyed that telling of Noor and Lama's story, and thank you for sharing it, girls. I enjoyed it very much.